Welcome back to the Football Terrace. The Champions League draw is on. Chelsea, recent champions. Liverpool, beaten finalists. City, they haven't quite won it yet, but who knows this year. And of course, Tottenham Hotspur back in the Champions League. We're joined by Jan, of course, supporting Manchester City. Tom is here, repping Tottenham. We've got Roy back in Chelsea. And then me and KJ are basically here for comedic effect as our club is not in the Champions League. Afternoon, one and all. How are you doing?
I didn't know Tom was a Tottenham fan.
I
I meant Liverpool. Very sorry. How are you all doing? And someone says, "Why not?" Man. I need to answer this question very quickly. Right? When you see a fan not represented, it's never because we don't ask. If we ask Tottenham fans and they're not available, they're not on. So please stop asking those questions. We always ask. You know what I mean? And they're working. We're in the group chat. Relax. But yeah, afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Everyone good?
Yeah, man. Sun is shining. Healthy, man. Yeah, sun is shining. My team don't have to go through the stress of the Champions League draw. You know what I mean? I get to rep a shirt of a European team in the Champions League. I'm a happy guy. You know what I mean?
You get to wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. You have to wait for tomorrow with the set 2 and set 3 lot.
Hey, listen, the Europa League draw is more exciting anyway. Come on now. Who's not excited for a trip to Serbia? Like, mate.
Exactly. No, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good Champions League draw tomorrow night, but Europa League draw, sorry, tomorrow. The proper European competition, as I like to call it. But I'm excited. I like the Champions League draw. The Champions League draw is always fun. Of course, I want to go to Tom first on this. Fell at the final hurdle, everybody got beat by Real Madrid last year unexpectedly. Are you as confident this year as going as far as a Liverpool fan, or not so much because you haven't had a great start to the season? Where'd you read at?
It depends completely on the fitness of one man, and that's Thiago Alcantara. We've built a system around him, and he can only play about 30 games a season at most. So if we can keep him fit for the majority of the Champions League games, we've got a chance. This is the competition that we've got the best chance of winning because you don't need consistency for it. You just need to be able to turn up for two games a month, basically. If we can, we've got the heritage, we've got the history. This is the competition we've got the best chance in. And if we can ensure that players like Thiago or players like Keita are fit for these games, even if it gets to the point where you've got to manage their minutes in the league and almost sacrifice the league title in February or March and just settle for top 4 to ensure that we've got the best chance in this competition, I'm going for it because I just want to win the Champions League again. Last season hurt, man. Last season really, really hurt.
I bet it did. I mean, look, it's hard to do 2 Champions League finals back to back, Roy. As Chelsea you've had times where you've had a final and a semi. Last year, you were very unlucky not to get to another semi-final after being the champions. Do you think Liverpool have enough? And they are actually linked today with a late move for Frankie de Jong. Like, this has been put out there by some credible Spanish sources. Is that the kind of player they need to sign between now and the end of the window, do you think? Or is it wrong to ever write off a club like Liverpool in the Champions League?
A club with their heritage, you can never completely write them off. But if you want to think logically and realistically, then they definitely do need to get a midfielder in before the window shuts. Even though I think presently built, if they can just keep everyone fit when the games come around or just not have too many injuries, then it's kind of hard to doubt them making at least the semi-finals. But if they do get a midfielder in, let's say they get De Jong or they manage to hijack Paqueta or someone like that, then there's no reason to think they can't go all the way.
Can I just preface this? We are not getting Frankie de Jong. Liverpool Football Club and FSG are not paying them wages. Not a chance. BBC Sport retweeted also, and I'm like, come on, you're just getting people's hopes up for no reason. We're going to settle if we get one. But even if you do sign a top quality midfielder,
you should expect to be in the final.
Listen.
Go on.
Liverpool are Champions League heritage. They are. But 2 finals in a row is so hard.
Has anyone done it apart from Real Madrid?
Real Madrid are like the only
United did it as well, actually. Remember? 2008, 2009.
Like in recent history, it's only really been Real Madrid. Like Man United's one is I think is far back with that. Right, cool.
When
did we do it?
Oh, they did. Yeah, 2018 and 19, of course.
Oh yeah, and
It's
I'll say okay,
possible.
Liverpool.
But we're the most
Liverpool,
recent team to do it.
Yeah, and they lost to Real Madrid the first time as well. So
actually saying that, then
Tottenham Hotspur, come at us again. I want Tottenham Hotspur again.
I forgot about that. Liverpool can do it. You know what? Yeah, Liverpool can do it. You know why? Because of heritage. Heritage. If I'm saying Real Madrid won that Champions League because of football heritage, then I have to believe that Liverpool can
heritage is almost what matters most in this competition. You look back at all these winners that really shouldn't have won it. They're all teams that have a fantastic history in the competition. Like Liverpool in 2005 shouldn't have won that. Barely got off the group stages. We're rocking Jimmy Traore as a third centre-back for some unknown reason. Real Madrid last year, they shouldn't have made it as far as they did, but the heritage of the competition carries you through. And that's what it comes back to. You don't need the consistency. It's just for 180 minutes a month, can you rock up? Can your stadium and all these players rock up and play the occasion?
And what was the last time, would you guys say, that legit the best team won the Champions League? Bayern 2 years, like Bayern, the best team. 2 years. And the team that they beat as well was a PSG team that you could have easily have said, deserved to be there as well. You know what I mean? But recent times, it's not necessarily been the best team in Europe that actually wins the Champions League.
2017-18 was Man City, and they couldn't get past the quarters.
Yeah. So if we're saying that,
was whoever.
If we're saying that this Liverpool team is not at their peak, we shouldn't write them off in the Champions League, because again, they've got the heritage.
They can turn up when it matters if they're on that A game, and that's all you really need to win the champs.
Yeah,
like just make it through the group stage into the top two, and then as long as you can turn up on the day, that's all you really need.
Yeah, Liverpool of course can do it. Like, you never write anybody off in football. Of course, Liverpool can do it. And I know your point you said there about you won't pay De Jong's wages, but that's the kind of player that you need. You need to add that quality, because Real Madrid are actually going to be better this season, I think, than last year. That doesn't mean they'll go back to back, but would you write them off? They've done it before. Ancelotti, the most successful manager in the tournament, they've gone and added Tchouaméni to that brilliant midfield. And yes, Modric and Toni Kroos are a year older, but adding Tchouaméni in with, his name now eludes me, Camavinga, those two a year older, further forward, Vinicius Jr. a year, it's one of those things where Liverpool have to go up a level. Liverpool have to spend more money. Liverpool have got to do something. And of course, anyone can win it. I just don't see them. I wouldn't put Liverpool this season, heritage included, I wouldn't put them in my top 4 to win the Champions League. And that's based on the start they've had to the season, the slugged nature of some of their players. There's something. And I'm running it on the rule of 7. In Jurgen Klopp's 7th.
Oh, I saw this.
Jurgen Klopp's 7th season with Mainz, he was getting them relegated. In his 7th season with Dortmund, it fell apart. This is his 7th season with Liverpool, I believe. So I'm just going to go with the rule of 7.
Yeah.
7, you know what I mean?
You're inhaler. You've got knowledge of inhalers. I hear that after 7 years, inhalers also die off as well. So I think there's a correlation, you know. What are you saying now, Jan? Liverpool, obviously, you're probably your biggest threat in the league and in the Champions League. So,
yeah, the Champions League's a bit of a weird competition because it is. I think heritage plays quite a lot into it. As we've seen, I think with City, it's like almost like a mental block, and it's not that we're not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Because, in my opinion, that game against Madrid was over. You know, we'd already won the game. Like, to collapse like that. There's something there that's like stopping us from doing it. But at the same time, you do get teams who, because I don't think at the start of the season, people would have said Madrid. I would never rule them out because it's their competition, essentially. But I don't think you would have said, yeah, they're going to beat everyone to it. Even the final, I think most people's money was on Liverpool. So it's that sort of thing. So I think you could never rule them out. I would never rule them out. I think they're always... They've got to be in the top 2, regardless, because they just seem to always get there. But in terms of Liverpool, it depends, because I think part of the reason why they've started the season the way they have is because they played so many games. I noticed this with City, not last season, season before. We played pretty much to the end of every competition, like Liverpool, and we were just completely knackered at the start of last season. But because we've got quite a strong squad. We had time to kind of allow De Bruyne to get back to his best, and the defense that were injured, they were able to kind of come back and save our season. But yeah, I think Liverpool are going to be a bit tired, but that doesn't mean they can't win the Champions League, because by the time they're all back at their best, it's going to be in the knockout stages. So they can go on and win it. They've been to back-to-back finals. So I wouldn't rule them out, but I do think they need a midfielder, because Thiago, a little bit unreliable because of injury.
That's very true to me. That's very true. But Terry, nah. We need to come back to Terry. Terry says something and trying to brush it underneath carpet like it. Liverpool are not in your top four to win. You're on mute as well.
That's not making sense. How are they not in the top four?
This is what I'm saying. Like who? Okay, so
I can see it. Let me try and predict the 4 teams. I think he's got Bayern above us, PSG, Man City, and Real Madrid.
Bayern shouldn't be above you.
Wait. Is that Terry? Is that the 4 that you have above Liverpool?
Say those again.
Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid, Man City.
Yes. It's not like I'm not here trying to like I'm not here like trying to act like Notre Dame. Like I know more about football. I just kind of just looking at the start. I also think I'm not going to give them that higher rating. I need to see how they're playing, but Barca have spent well. They were looking good towards the end of last season. They've added some real quality to their team. I wouldn't write them off in a knockout competition. I'm not writing Liverpool off. They're in the top 5, top 6. But I just feel, again, start of this season, Messi looks more like Messi. And if Messi is more like Messi, that's dangerous and it's different.
I know. But with PSG, we'll come on to. I'm guessing we'll come on to them a bit later in the show. But just like Man City, there's a, you know what I mean? There's that block. You know what I'm saying? So
they're actually worse than us, PSG. We're almost as bad as each other. But...
So yeah, man, I'm not too sure.
My oil club can't relate to that mental block. Been there, done it, won it.
Yeah, but even with Chelsea, I think Chelsea have won it when they're least expected to win it. Like Chelsea had great teams in like 2004, 5,
True,
and they didn't win it. And then they went and won it when you least expected it. And the same thing happened again. So I think that might happen to City. I think while we're like one of the best
you think
teams,
it might be after Pep leaves?
We might not win it. We could well win it when he leaves. I think with Pep, there's so much, because he's like a football genius. He like overthinks everything. Like there's a meme and it shows like an arrow to like from the trophy, like in a straight line, and it's got Pep and he's doing all circles and he can't. And I feel that's what it's like. It's like he's overthinking everything, Yeah. And that's why when we play the best teams, we actually look better because there's less sort of overthinking.
Every year you went out to the team that weren't expected to beat you. It was Lyon or Real Madrid, Tottenham.
Spurs.
It's always a team that you think, even with Real Madrid, that first leg should have been
it should have been clean.
Yeah, you should have wrapped up.
And that's why I refuse to blame Pep, because I will blame Pep for Chelsea. That was his fault. I'll blame him for Lyon because he changed the formation a bit. And didn't know what they were doing. But when it came to that game, he set up to win that first game about 10-0. And the players just didn't do it. So I think that was a bit of a collapse at the back. What I would say about that game is in the league, it's kind of helped us because City had not come back from 2-0 down since 2007. And since that Madrid game, we've done it 3 times. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Interesting.
I agree with you, Jan. When it comes to your manager, I think that, listen, someone put a picture up the other day of his league finishes since he's been a first team manager. And it's literally like first most of the time, a couple of seconds and a third. And it's phenomenal. But then there's always the argument when someone said, you can't argue he's not the greatest manager of all time. Everyone has a different standard. My caveat to Pep being the greatest is I haven't seen him go to a fallen giant or a smaller club and build them into the best team in Europe. We've seen Jose do that. We've seen Sir Alex Ferguson do that. You could argue he did it twice. What he did with Aberdeen was, in some respects, more impressive than what he did. Doing what he did with Aberdeen in the 80s in Scotland is, in some respects, more impressive than what he built United into in the 90s, in some people's eyes. So there's always different reasons, but I would never deny Pep's in my top 5 greatest managers of my lifetime and maybe of all time at club level. But I do think that pressure follows him around in relation to the Champions League. I think it's, like in the back of his mind, I've got to do it because people, and he wants, the thing is with someone like Pep, he may not say it out loud, but he wants to be regarded as one of the greatest of all time. I think he has that in him. I actually think one of the things that hindered Fergie in terms of those, not hinder, I think what he's done is great, but he wanted more. He wanted that third Champions League because at the time, nobody had 3, I believe, managers. I might be wrong, but I don't think anybody had 3. He wanted to be the first to have it. Sometimes you chase that so hard, it becomes a stumbling block. In those early 90s, Fergie was doing it. It was almost like sometimes we were the best team by a country mile, but we just came unstuck at the wrong times. And I think that Pep's got to learn to do that. And I agree with you. I think he'll leave with more league titles, more FA Cups, more League Cups. And then you'll find the next manager comes third in the Premier League, but wins the goddamn Champions League. It'll almost be like the pressure's been relieved and he goes in and does it. But yeah, I mean, City, the thing is though, as well, I want to ask you this question, Jan. Do City need to win it to be considered one of the greatest European sides of all time? Do you believe that you need the Champions League to enter that conversation?
I think you need every trophy. I do. But at the same time, what I do say is, even though City have been good enough to win it, I don't think we were always good enough to win it. People that act from the start of this Sheikh Mansour era that we were good enough to win it. We weren't at the beginning. It took us a while. We were new to the competition. We had to learn our lessons. But I think the past, under Pep, for quite a lot of Pep's time, we've been good enough to win it. And I think we are improving year on year. So I think it's a matter of when, not if we win it. But it's just, I think it's going to be when people least expect it. I think it's not going to be when everyone's like, oh, City are going to win it. They're favourites. Because I think the pressure of us being favourites doesn't help us. And I think it allows other teams like Chelsea, for example, they went into that final under no real pressure. They had a newish manager. Everyone was saying City are better, as a team. And it took a lot of the pressure off Chelsea. So it's I feel like we're more likely to win it as an underdog than as the favourite. So if we went up against the Real Madrid, I think City would be more likely to win it than if we play someone that we should be beating easily. So
yeah, I'm going to say something. I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Jan. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you do not win it with Pep, I can see struggling for let's say I don't want to put an infinite amount of time on it because you made me win it. But I say for the next 10 years after Pep, I can't see you win it. Not because your club isn't good or you haven't got great players, you ain't got a great structure as a club, but the transition from such a manager like Pep Guardiola, it's going to be so difficult to navigate, in my opinion. It's so hard to navigate that. Trying to win the Champions League while that's happening, it's going to be it's just not happening. So I feel like Pep needs to get you this Champions League.
Do you know what though, KJ? So I know you're going to say something as well, Tom. But where I disagree is that isn't typically how football works. Real Madrid just won it when they're supposedly in transition and shouldn't be doing it. Chelsea have won it twice. Once with a manager that was sacked a few months later. I don't think football doesn't always work in that obvious manner and direction. I do feel like the only reason they're not winning it so far under Pep, I think Pep feels too much pressure. And I think it's getting to him because as Jan said, some of the decisions that he has made in some of these games has been crazy. But sorry, Tom, you were going to say something, mate. Sorry.
The thing is, when you're looking at the transition of Manchester City after Pep, the reason why I don't think it'll be an issue is Manchester City have their culture is built around Pep now. So when Pep goes, I'm sure they've already got a short list of the 3 managers who they'll look at bringing in, who will instantly play a style very similar to what they've done. They're trying to build that club culture.
United, just to let you know.
They're trying to build that club culture around.
Brendan Rodgers is actually on that list, though. He's going to be free soon as well, Jan. Brendan Rodgers.
Do you know what's crazy, though, that you say that? Because if you actually watch Man City from kids all the way up to the women's team, they all play the same way. Like when I watch the women, I'm like, they're just like the men. They have hundreds of chances and they miss most of them. But it's one of them. They play the same way.
So, Jan, do you maybe see potentially Man City recruiting from within than necessarily going away and and finding like some guy who can also play touch football? Do you reckon that might be a thing?
See, I don't really know, because since the Sheikh's come in, the plans changed a few times, because I know originally they wanted Vieira to work alongside Pellegrini and then become potentially the next manager. And then when Pep came in, it changed slightly. Then it looked like it might be Arteta, because he brought Arteta in. But I don't think they're ready yet. I'd love to see Company in the future, but he's not ready yet.
Yeah.
But I'd love that in the long-term future. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I would have thought maybe there's only really two that I would have associated with Pep, where it's like they could come in and, I think, take over without causing us too much damage. And one of them was Ten Hag, like you say, and the other one is Enrique. So I don't know if we'll get him, because Ten Hag's not going to join City now. So I don't know, but you never know with City. They'll already know.
Yeah, and that is why, I think Terry will agree, that is why I wanted Ten Hag so much. Because it just eliminates like him ever going there and doing absolute madness.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons why when Pep and Klopp respectively went to Liverpool and Chelsea, I was so gutted, because it meant categorically they were never going to be Man United managers. Yeah. You know, it was one of the reasons why back when you guys first got money. Well, I think he was already the manager when you got money. When Mark Hughes went to Man City, at that point, again, younger people won't remember this. They'll just remember him as a dead manager. It's one of those things where you're in this situation where you sort of think to yourself, well, he was tipped to go on and be a very good manager. He was so I read a comment and I was wondering what they meant. Sorry. And they were talking about him as being one of the next potential top class managers in the league. And when he joined City, I remember being a little bit annoyed at him as an ex-United player. I just felt like you've stopped any chance now of ever managing Man United, and you were still at that time a fairly young manager. And that's why I wanted Ten Hag for one reason. One, I think he's going to be. I think he could be brilliant. But secondly, it stopped him ever managing our two biggest rivals. And we should again. I don't quite know how Man United ever meant to. Like, you got to remember when Fergie left, Man United were bigger and better than Man City. How we didn't work it out to bring Pep in is unbelievable. And I get Fergie kind of retired out the blue. Nobody expected it. Of course, the passing of his wife's sister was a real issue in this, and he wanted to be with his wife and stuff like that. But the fact we couldn't work it out, like, you think back with hindsight, could have given it to, you could have let Rene Mullenstein and Mike Phelan for 1 year run it, right? A winning team that they were already part of. They could run it for a year with knowing Pep was coming at the end of it. Like, we could have done something like that. Would have been a lot better. But having said that, that would be the club being run well. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And we're not. So yeah.
Do you think Fergie would have actually like endorsed Pep though if he'd been asked?
Because do you know what?
Pep, obviously, we saw Pep beat him in 2 finals, and do you think Fergie would be like, "Yeah, give him my job"?
Wait, do you think just because man got slapped twice, he'll be like, "No, I don't want this guy. I don't want this guy at United." Like, no.
Roy's asking a good question. Roy's asking a good question. There are some Man United fans who have this weird belief that Fergie picked Moyes to elevate and show how good Fergie was. Now, for me, I get why there are a very small percentage of Man United fans that don't like Fergie, and I'm not too sure what the reason is. They never go fully in because they know going for Fergie, like, that's almost, you take a shot at the king, you've got to hit so hard that the majority agree with you, or you're finished in this industry. Like, you're finished out there. You can't go in on him. He's a god, right? But I don't think, I don't know. This is the mistake that was made. Fergie hasn't been as involved as people make out. Yes, he's at the games and he's ceremoniously on the board. He's had no decision-making power since he retired. The mistake that was made by Moyes wasn't even Moyes being the manager. It was Moyes being allowed to clear out the entire backroom staff. And go back to Jan's point a minute ago about all your teams play the same football, right? Men's, women's, boys, girls, all play the same. Man United had a structure where everything was cohesive. This is what Man United have done 4 times. We've allowed the new manager to scrap everything that's going on and start their own thing. So you've basically given a club the size of Man United to new managers 5 times and gone, run it how you want it to be run. So we now have a situation where our boys and girls and our young men and first team men and our first team all play different football. It's crazy. So when Pep leaves, that's why there will be, like, they will pick a manager that's conducive with Pep's style of football. They won't go, right, who's available? Let's go get Conte from Spurs. It ain't happening in a month of Sundays. Now, speaking of Spurs, I want to speak about Spurs for a little bit. I've got some super chats first, actually. First one says, I completely agree with Terry. Of course you would. I will rule Liverpool out myself if we don't sign a midfield reinforcement. I can't see past City or Madrid this season. Gio says City will win the Champions League. They paid respect to my club Milan, so now they have the football heritage. They just need to wear their away kit in the tournament, is what Gio says. And Stuart, the Spurs fan, says, where are the Arsenal fans? They're not here, of course. Well, they'd be invited. If a gal wants to come on, if he's watching, he's more than welcome. I wanted to ask about Tottenham, though, guys. Like, do we think Tottenham, with Conte, have a chance of winning the Champions League this year?
No.
Let me sum up Tottenham's Champions League hopes.
I play that. La 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 la.
Wait.
You're right. You're right.
Infringement.
Whoa. Tottenham are going to come third in their group because we all know Conte sucks in Europe. And they'll go into the Europa League. I think Tottenham will be a lot more focused on the league this season because they themselves know the Champions League chances aren't fantastic. And I think they'll just do whatever, they'll do what they can in the Europa League. I don't think they'll exert themselves or use Kane and Son excessively in that competition. And I think it's just very much very much focused on the league campaign and maybe picking up a domestic trophy. But in the champs, I just think I can see them coming third in their group, if I'm being honest.
I'm backing Roy. I've said, people ask, who do you think will win the Europa League? I said Spurs. Spurs, he will.
A Spurs Arsenal final will be very, very interesting.
It will be tasty, bro. It will be tasty. But I just don't trust Conte, bro. I don't trust Conte in this Champions League.
The furthest he's made it is the quarterfinals, and that's across his entire career. In the Champions League, he's played something like 47. How many is it? 34 matches. Sorry, and won 12 of them.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
You can't hack it
in the Champions League, and again, you're also with Spurs. So at any moment in the champs, Spurs, he can just kick in, just like that. You know what I mean? And I know you're gonna say, but they got to a final. I know they've got to a final, bro. I know, but that juice is gone. Poch is no longer here. You've already tried Jose, that flopped. Then man, we're in. I don't see how they got away with this last year. Them man were in Conference League and didn't even make out the group stage. I don't see how anyone.
No one said anything. Nobody said anything about
it. I remember I brought it up, and they were people were like, "But yeah, it's just Spurs though." And it's just no, bro. They should have been winning the Conference League, fam. They're good enough to do it.
Yeah, they lost to some Estonian team, and everyone just brushed it under the carpet after a couple of days. We were 8K Mura.
They got more.
Anyone else lost to them, they would have been fried.
This is what I mean. They got more heat for getting knocked out of the European League, bro.
They did get fried, but it's all relative. Spurs are not as big as Chelsea. They're not as big as Arsenal. They're not as big as City. And I'm not even saying they're not as big as the other two teams because it's an embarrassment to even compare the two. It's ridiculous. Spurs are a small club in comparison to the European giants, and they're finding their way. But they do have, and the thing is, they have Antonio Conte, who I think is a brilliant league manager. This man has more. I think Antonio Conte has more to prove in the Champions League this year than Pep. And the reason that I say that is this: Pep Guardiola every year, it's Pep's got to win it. Pep's got to win it. Pep's got to win it. Conte's got to win a knockout game. Antonio Conte is regarded one of the top managers in the world. He's never won a Champions League knockout round. For me, I think that's why I always separate. But when you can't separate, you can. As a league manager, Antonio Conte is one of the best in the business, no doubt. In terms of overall quality across Europe, if he hasn't won a Champions League knockout game, and I don't believe if he has won a Champions League knockout game, tell me I'm wrong. How can you be considered one of the greatest when you haven't won a round in the knockout?
He has done, but it was against Celtic in 2012.
Celtic.
I forgot about that.
He won one round. One against Celtic, and that's Scottish football now in the not even in the noughties, in the teenies or whenever it was, the 2020s.
2013.
2013. Okay, so a decade ago he won a knockout round. What's he done since? Honestly, any Spurs fan who thinks they're winning this Champions League because they have Antonio Conte, it is beyond delusional.
Right, I swear, the year that they got to the Europa League final against Sevilla, which again, they're the better team and should have won. Hold tight, Sevilla, Europa League heritage though, mad. They finished third in their group with, I think, was it Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, and Shakhtar Donetsk. Is that the group that they finished third with? Or am I just?
I think so. No, I think it is.
I'll
Like
find out for you now.
out of those 4 teams, you expect Inter to come second.
Barca, Dortmund, and Slavia Prague.
Wait, that was their group,
Mm-hmm.
and they came third.
Mm-hmm.
That's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Got 7 points. Dortmund got 10. Barca got 14. Slavia Prague got 2.
It's a disgrace. I'm sorry, no.
The thing is, in the Europa League,
that's not prime Barca either. It's not prime Barcelona.
That was washed Barca. Let's be honest.
Like, that was the Barca that got beat 8-2. That was the Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly. That was shit.
Got beat 8-2.
There it is. And for Spurs fans, this is, to be fair, this is more about Conte than it is about Spurs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just Conte in the Champions League. I have no.
The thing is, in the Europa League, he's got a really good record. He's got a 71% win rate in the Europa League, and in the Champions League, it's like 35.
Like, if you want to talk Europa League, they just bring up Unai Emery. That's what you call a Europa League master. Because Conte never even won the Europa League.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I'll just say it again in case anyone that I want to make sure I say this right this time. Antonio Conte has more to prove this year than Pep Guardiola. He's won 1 knockout round of the Champions League in his career, and that was, as you guys said, 9 years ago. I've seen Tottenham fans say we might not win the league, but I think we can pick up the Champions League. And I'm not even saying this to be funny. Spurs have more chance of winning the Premier League than they do the Champions League, based on their logic that their manager is the reason that they're going to do well in the league. Well, if you're basing it on Antonio Conte's history, you should have almost zero faith of doing anything deep in this Champions League. And I think you couple that in with Spursy being Spursy, especially in quarterfinals, semi-finals, and/or finals of games. Like it makes me laugh that Chelsea fans, the way that Tottenham fans are kind of like said Chelsea won't do nothing this year, Arsenal won't do nothing this year, but we will. I don't know what they're basing it on. I don't understand where Tottenham fans this season have developed such chess from. A lot of them are saying, "Oh, we might do it. We could achieve this. I'm excited about what's going to happen." I get that, but some are talking like you've been here, done it, and worn the t-shirt. Your manager hasn't. Like, I swear Harry Redknapp has won more knockout games in the Champions League than Antonio Conte. It's an absolute madness to me that they think they're going to win this thing. I'm not even throwing salt. I'm just being serious. Like, it's embarrassing to hear some of the comments come out of their mouth. This is such a hard.
No, literally, I asked Patrick, I asked George, I asked a Spurs fan called Max, who we looking to get on the terrace. I asked Alan Clark. I've asked Spurs fans to come on. And granted, they're busy. You know what I mean? They are busy. They've got work and lives to live. So fair enough. But I wanted one here because I want to hear how on earth they will do it. You know what I mean? From their perspective, how on earth they will even reach the quarterfinals. I want to know. Because I don't think
they're just going to pick the 3 easiest teams they can get and say, yeah, if we go through, and then they'll pick another easy team they can get from another group and say, oh, if we win that, then we're in the quarterfinal. That's how they predict their way. Like, Tottenham should have no hope for this competition. You should just hope for a couple decent away days, and that's about it. Like, this whole we can go all the way, we can get to the semi-finals. It's not happening. You get to the quarters if you have a dream tournament.
Jan's getting some PTSD stuff. I can see it in the corners. Like, don't
Jan hears Spurs in the quarterfinals, and her heart starts.
No, we're good. You know what? Like, that game would have to be 100-0. I don't care. I don't want to see no 1-0, no 2-0, 100-0. That's it. But no, I don't know, like, I think with Spurs, I wouldn't class, like, obviously anyone that's in it can win it. Like, it's essentially, it can happen, but I don't see it. I think maybe if they had a Jose, like they had before, like with Jose Mourinho, in knockout games, you know, he could maybe do it, but I don't think with the current manager. I don't know, like, I get what people are saying about Pep. Pep's under a lot of pressure, not from the club as much as people think. The club are kind of like, we want Pep, we like what he's doing. Obviously, they want the Champions League, but it's not an essential, otherwise he would have been sacked. But he's under pressure. I know what Pep's like. He'll put the pressure on himself. He'll want to win it. But at the same time, he has actually won it twice. So if you think about how many managers have won, only Zidane and Ancelotti out of the managers that are there now have won it more than him. So I think he's okay. I don't think he's under as much pressure as people like to make out, but he is under pressure to win it. City itself are under pressure to win it. And I don't know when it's going to happen. I did predict 4 years ago that we'd win it in 4 years' time. So technically,
it's time. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
time.
So I'm like, oh, but I don't know. We'll see.
Time's up, Jan. It's now or
I
never.
know, literally, it's caught up with me.
Yeah.
Wait.
And I know, look, people say to me, Terry, you say you don't deal in absolutes. I'm not saying Spurs can't win it. That's literally not what's leaving my mouth. I see a few people in the comments. I'm not saying they can't win it. I'm not saying it's an impossibility. I just don't understand where the confidence comes from, as if to say, like, you've got fans of City, fans of Barca, fans of Madrid. You've got fans of Madrid that are like, oh, we won it last year. It's going to be really hard to go back to back. I don't know if we can do it again this year. We've got some young players. Some of our guys are a bit older. I hear more Madrid fans being more humble about this than Spurs fans. It's crazy to me. We've got some more super chats here. Spurs have more European trophies than Arsenal. True. But we're not talking Arsenal. Ajax to reach the semi-finals this year. Dark horses. What do you guys reckon to that?
No.
Nah. Without their king known as Eric,
Ten Hag.
You know what I mean?
Like they're probably going to lose Anthony. Like I can't. They've lost to Sandro Martinez. I can't see it.
I think they'll do good though. I think they'll do. I think they're challenged.
Yeah, I think they'll probably. I reckon last 16.
Yeah, depending on the group, they're challenged to get through or end up third, like by like a point or 2 points or something.
Yeah, semi-finals is way too far.
In terms of the pots, they are the pots as you can see there, and yeah, I mean, I think it's going to lead. I don't think there's going to be many. Like, I can't really look at that and see too many options for group of deaths as an example. Like, I think the groups are going to be fairly simplistic for teams this year. Obviously, Ajax being in group and Porto being in like pot 1 gives them a really nice kind of advantage, as it were, and Frankfurt being there knocks a team down. But I mean, pot 2 is really interesting, and Spurs being in, that's interesting as well. But I suppose that's because they've got some coefficient points after like getting to a final fairly recently and stuff.
Do you know what, Terry? I actually disagree with you. I think if you look at the structure of pot 2 and you look at how many very decent sides are in pot 3, I think there's a very good chance that someone's going to have a very difficult group on their hands. Because you could pick out Real Madrid, chuck an English team in there, add Borussia Dortmund or Inter, and then even Marseille or Celtic, and then bang, you've got a group where like no one's got it easy. So I think if you just look at the pot 2 structure and the decent teams in pot 3, I think if you chuck one of the big dogs from pot 1, you've got a group of death in your hands.
And you know what? Yeah, you see in pot 4, yeah, there's one team that I think might do something special this year. I actually think Rangers will do a madness this year.
If they get a good
I honestly do.
Their home stadium could get them further than people think.
Oi, Champions League nights at the Ibrox. Oi.
Yeah, it's not easy, man.
I'm telling you now, Rangers, if they will, I'm calling it now, surprise package, they will get to the knockout stage of the Champions League.
Oh, that's a big call. That's a big call.
They move the ball well. They play good football. There's no doubt about it. They move the ball well. They play very good football. They do what it is they've got to do. I wanted to ask you, Roy, as we build up to the start of the draw that's coming on soon. People stay with us. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. What's your thoughts on Chelsea's chances this year?
Finally, I was getting bored of the Spurs talk. Now let's talk to the big boy. Let's talk about the big boys from London. The last English team to win the Champions League, by the way, and no one here can deny that. So, anyway, it really depends on these final 7 days of the window. I'm going to be very, very honest. Presently constructed, I think, like quarters, maybe semis, presently constructed. And I think that's just based on Tuchel getting every single drop of performance he can out of this squad. However, if we do sign Fofana, we do sign Aubameyang, we do sign Anthony Gordon, who at the end of the day is an attacker. He's something new, so I have to count him. And we sign a midfielder. I pray to God every day we sign a midfielder. Then, I'm not going to lie. With Tuchel's ability in cup competitions, I expect to get to the final. I'll keep it perfectly a buck. If we get everything we need before the window shuts, I expect us to get to the final again.
Wait. So how big is this transfer gap then? So you've
no, because basically
quarterfinals to a final.
Yeah, quarterfinals. Because I expect us to go through our group. I expect us to get a beatable team in the round of 16 and then win the quarterfinals. So then, in terms of what we need to do to actually go far and potentially go all the way, we have to get Fofana done. Obviously, Oba looks like it's going to get done. If we sign another attacker, could be Gordon, I don't know. Sign those 3, and then we're able to get a midfielder. Because the midfielder is very important. If you don't get a midfielder, then if we'll be lucky to get to the semis. But if we can get a midfielder on top of the 3 players that we look like we're already going to get, then I expect to go to the final. Because honestly, I look at every team across Europe and across 2 legs, I fancy us against anyone.
Nah. You know what it is, Roy? You're either underselling what you are now or overhyping what your transfers will do. Because you can't just go from we right now we'll only reach the quarters to, well, if we have 5 signings, boom, we're in the final. Like
that's it. That's what 5 signings can do, though, bro.
Like, bro,
yeah,
like,
one of them signings is Anthony Gordon, so it's 4 signings. I'm sorry. could you imagine wheeling out Anthony Gordon in the Champions League semi-final?
In my opinion, that must mean that you've already got a good base then, and you're just adding a few.
Yeah, we do. We do have a
pieces.
good base.
Yeah, so how can you just say quarters?
Like,
Surely it's semis then.
Presently constructive. If everyone's fully fit, Tuchel, if he gets everything he can out of these players and they turn up when necessary, then there's no reason why we can't get to the semis. However, if we actually want to go all the way, and the semis is going to be a very, very difficult 2-legged tie. So we're going to need more than we currently have. That's what I'm saying. If we get the players we need in, then I think we can go. I'd expect us to go to the final.
If you get all these signs in,
I back us.
If you get all these signs in that you're saying, which of the big 5, should we say, if you go on us, Man City, Real Madrid, PSG and Bayern, which of them teams can you beat over 2 legs?
Like I said, if we get everything we need, we can beat Real Madrid over 2 legs. I don't care what anyone said. I think we're already I think last season we were better than them. We just didn't beat them. I think we could beat Liverpool over 2 legs. As in, we played in 2 cup finals, both went to penalties. We drew both league games. So there's no reason why we can't get an edge. City's the only one where I think, you know what, the way City play, it might be a long day. And then Bayern and PSG, I think Tuchel's got enough to get us past the line. Bayern more so, PSG obviously the way they're playing right now. Very, very difficult game, but apart from City or PSG, I would fancy us to go through against anyone.
Now, this whole thing of again, we'll talk about PSG later, Terry, but I want to chat about PSG because their league form hype shouldn't be a thing. Like,
it's true. The league
don't ignore the league unhype from their flipping from their Champions League run. These guys are looking sick. Granted, they have Messi and Mbappe, Neymar. They've got a new coach who seems to find a system that works. But I was speaking to my mate who's a PSG fan. He's from France. And I was like, oh, you should be excited for the Champions League. And he's like, well, not really, because we don't know what we'll look like in the Champions League. This manager has not really done much in the Champions League. So for now, it's looking all sweet in their league, doing up 7-0, 6-1s and all of that foolishness. But when they come up against the big teams in Europe who have actually got structure, you know what I mean? Who actually got maybe a different kind of tactics to deal with PSG, they could easily struggle to get to that final.
I think they could. Because they've got to 1 final in their history, I believe. So like. The thing with PSG is the reason there's always going to be the expectation that you're right to kind of what I like about UKJ and this is that you come the way you've written them off, even though they looked at teams that should make it, but yet like you'll talk about like other like the way you spoke about like look anyway. I'm losing myself. I'm just thinking about PSG here in the sense of it's all about their attitude. When the going gets tough at that football club, those players do not come together. And of course they can make the Champions League final. Of course they can win it. But when you see Mbappe not just walking off when he doesn't get the ball passed to him in a counter-attack, the way he barged into Messi, they are reasons why, depending on the draw, if they had a draw where they had to play Chelsea in the quarterfinals, Liverpool or City in the semi-finals, and then Real Madrid in the final, they ain't winning it. I don't think they can have the togetherness, the team spirit enough. 3 games like that running against European elite sides or some of the best teams in Europe that are together as a unit and beat them. That's their problem. They don't have a team spirit when the going gets tough. That's the biggest reason why, talent-wise, they should have already won the goddamn thing. They've got Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi up front. Like that, everyone should be scared, but no one really is scared of PSG to that degree. One of the worst Man United teams of 40 years knocked them out. Like this PSG team has got bottle job. Even when they made the final, they messed their chances up. Like
they should have won that final.
But I think that's my thing. I'm not trying to say that they have absolutely no chance of winning because they do. They have absolutely. But for me, it's like because people have looked at their league form and look at the start. Oh, it's so sick that it's like they're going to win the Champions League. It's like, no, like, come on, like, actually do maths, actually look at the history of the football and look at the position that it's not I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to be up there. Literally, when you said the four for above Liverpool, I know PSG are considered. I think Liverpool have a better chance of winning Champions League than PSG.
It's the potential with PSG, the squad that they've got.
Yeah,
if it comes together, you're putting them right up there because you've got Lionel Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe in attack. You've got a very strong defensive base, and for the first time, if they can keep Marco Verratti fit, they've got a well-balanced midfield on paper. And if they hit their potential, they're right up there. But the more likely thing to happen is they get a decent team in the round of 16 and it all goes wrong because the players start to break apart again. That's the issue that could happen with PSG. It's either or. There's not going to be an in-between where they just peter out in the quarters.
When PSG come up against adversity and overcome it in the Champions League knockouts, then I'll change my tune. I'm not going to go off the group stages.
I still put them in my top four, but they're like bottom of my top four. If that makes sense. I wouldn't write them off completely. Let's go some of these super chats here. First one here.
Have you got Bayern above them, Terry? Just quickly. Have you got Bayern above PSG?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I never write Bayern Munich off. They're always
true. They've got heritage.
Most years they're in my top 3, top 4. Unless there are other, again, it might change. If like Man United were absolutely at their best, I'm talking historical best. If AC Milan will fire in, like those types of teams being and around it, but with those guys missing, you lot overreacting about FT football Twitter banter. Anytime Tottenham fans start to raise, other fans lose their minds, living rent free. Look, I don't feel like any Spurs fans living rent free in my head.
Can they even afford the rent?
Nobody will be laughing at Spurs in a year. Look, if Spurs win this tournament, I'll hold my hands up and go, wow, didn't see that one coming, but I can't see it myself.
And Arsenal fans need to hide as well.
But no, I would love it. I would love the Spurs win the Champions League.
Josh, listen, if Spurs do win it, I think every Arsenal fan should shut their YouTube accounts for a month.
But that's the thing, though, because you've not said it's impossible for them to win it. You're saying you don't know why they would think they're going to win it. If Spurs win the Champions League, it's probably the biggest shock in Champions League history. Do you know what I mean? So it's not something that is like, really like what your argument is not that they can't win it. So what he's saying doesn't really make sense.
It's not out.
It's going to be shut. Even Spurs fans are going to be shut.
It's not outrageous for us not to think Spurs.
But my logic, I appreciate my logic is along the lines of we've got Conte so we can win it. But he's won one knockout game in his career. Like the logic don't make sense. It's more the logic than what they're actually saying. Like if they were like, I think we're going to do it because we're complete underdogs and we're going to be written off and it's going to make teams underestimate us, I'd go, I get the logic. But because you're your manager's got no history in this competition. It makes no sense. Josh here says that the reason they believe isn't Conte, it's because we fluked it to a final with Winks and Sissoko. I personally don't think we will make it past the knockouts. I hear that. Do you know what's funny, though? Back in those days, you guys rated Sissoko a little bit. More so, though. Harry Winks back then, you lot were comparing him to like Xavi and Iniesta. Like, that was when Winks was rated, bruv. Let's not rewrite history. The Perchy here says, ignore football Twitter, Terry. At Spurs, no one is truly saying we can win it. But when it comes to the knockout competitions, anything can happen. Love the show, mate. Keep it up. Thank you very much, my friend. Ajax reached the semi-finals this year. I already had that one. Dark Horses. Chelsea in a Champions League final. Man can't get past Jesse Marsh. Jaden here says Terry can't get Spurs out of his mind. Listen, we talk about the top 6. Unless you want to be out of the top 6, I'm going to talk about you. It has nothing to do with Conte. Get it through. Then you need to tell people to stop talking about Conte when they speak about the Champions League. Then
why does your manager not matter about your chances in a competition?
It's the most important part.
Why would you say they are favorite?
Who would you say?
Who would you say? Sorry, the favorite contenders. I'm actually going to go. My favorites this year. I'm going with Manchester City. I think this is going to be their year.
Oh, Jan, cover your ears.
I'm not buying into the hype till I see us lifting that trophy. Then I would like, oh yeah. No, I don't.
The market's closed when you lift the trophy, and you can't buy in at that point.
I think I think because of what they did last year and the transfers they made and their football heritage, I think Real Madrid will be considered favourites. I think they're the favourites to win.
Do you know what I think? Because I think Bayern usually they're kind of with City. They're either favourites or they're up there, you know. But I think it could be their manager that's
I'm not convinced by Nagelsmann completely yet.
Because he hasn't proven it yet. Like I know there's potential for him, but I don't.
He hasn't got the best.
Under a different manager, then I'd probably say them, to be honest.
I've got Bayern as my favourites. I
Yeah.
think that they've made a number of really good signings. You know, they've got De Ligt in, they've got Gravenberch in, obviously Sadio Mane. And I think that Nagelsmann's finally playing a system that suits European football just a little bit more. I know that when we played them in the past, he had some weird back three with no defensive midfielder, so there was always space in between.
Yeah, they're trying.
Whereas now he's going for a very traditional 4-2-3-1, and it suits that Bayern team really well.
And the thing is, that's just Bayern all over. They've been doing 4-2-3-1. You know what I mean? So I think it's just
something controversial. Sadio Mane is a better Champions League striker than Lewandowski. He turns up in the big moments more often, and that could be a big difference maker for them.
Cool.
I think it's time for these the kings of France to finally become the kings of Europe. I think this is PSG's year, and I get what you were saying, KJ, earlier about like whether there could be beef in the squad or it was Terry about how Mbappe belged Messi. But I've watched their recent games, and it looks quite together. Like they're linking up quite well, as long as they don't have any issues regarding who's taking penalties, because that could end up costing them. I think the chemistry on the pitch looks good. I like the fact that Gaultier switched to a back three. I think cup football, as a back three is always a good approach to go with. Just keep it tight at the back and then see what you can do in attack. And with their attack, is on paper, it's the best in Europe quite comfortably. So I just think with that back three, Marquinhos, Ramos, Kimpembe, Verratti, Vitinha, they've still got Dino Pereira, Renato Sanchez. They've got a nice set of midfielders as well, all technical, all good to play in that. To
be fair, don't sleep on their wing backs. To be fair, I do.
The wing backs, Hakimi and Mendes, they're both of them are better wing backs than they are full backs, because defensively, they can be questionable at times, but when it comes to being a wing back, both of them are fantastic, and then the front three speak for themselves. So I think this is the year where it all comes together.
Talking about Spurs and Man City, man like Yaya's on the stage right now.
Hey,
he's the Spurs under 16s coach, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know the one thing I don't like about the Champions League draw? It takes an eternity. Just do the bloody
draw.
You turn up, you get about 2 minutes of anecdotal jokes, and they do the draw. You go on. Like they make this thing so.
I think they're gonna say that goalkeeper of the season after pot one comes out.
Because they just did the manager. Awards. Wait, did the AC Milan manager just win manager of the?
No, it was an ambassador of the year trophy. It went to Arrigo Sacchi. So there's another one to come out as well.
Yeah, so all I saw was a bold guy, and I just assumed it was that. Oi, we got a special guest coming, people.
Hey, Igal.
What's going on, people? How you guys doing?
Oh, who invited Igal, man?
The stream needed more Europa League, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it. You already know
half the people on the Champions League draw stream support Europa League clubs.
Listen, you want to know something? Manchester United and Arsenal, two of the biggest clubs in English football. Let's not lie, man. At the end of the day, there's going to be more people watching some of our games than there will be some of the people watching those.
Tomorrow we'll have more numbers for the Europa League draw than this draw right here. I'm telling you now, fam.
And you want to know something?
The Europa League a big trophy though, so you can have the numbers, bro.
Let's be honest, man. You guys know if Arsenal or Manchester United win the Champions League, we get better viewer numbers than Liverpool, and we get better viewer numbers than Chelsea.
That's your fault for not making top four, Gal.
Do you want a trophy for that?
Beat Newcastle, bro.
Hey, I want to know, where's the Tottenham fans? I don't want to say come outside, but I'm just saying.
Definitely don't say that.
Come outside, Tottenham fans. Where are you? It's your night. You guys, you know what, guys? The saddest thing, the Champions League emailed me. It's a draw. Get ready. I'm like, why are you emailing me? I don't give a shit. I'm just here for vibes. Like my team's not in it. God damn. But before you guys get all your jokes in, guys, we know Arsenal are in the Champions League. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I think I was listening to you guys speak a few minutes ago. I think the team that could win it this year that people are underestimating is definitely Bayern Munich. I agree. I forget who made that comment a couple minutes ago, but Bayern Munich, it's not about it's a cup competition. There's a level of there's a level of like, where you got to get luck of the draw. But Bayern Munich, they just tick away, and if they can get a couple of good ties and they can get themselves sorted, you never know. They have it quite easy in their league. It's just can it sometimes affect them negatively, similar to how it affects PSG when they play against the top teams in the Champions League.
But that's the thing. Bayern's league has a nice mix. Where with PSG's league, there's too many bad teams where they don't play their strongest team, and it's not a competitive level compared to the Bundesliga.
No,
the Bundesliga has a fair few competitive teams.
Is it when the Bundesliga actually Bayern win it every year, where at least PSG lose it a couple times here and there?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the quality of the teams overall in the Bundesliga is slightly higher, in my opinion, than the quality of teams overall in the French league. Yeah, whereas, I think your Leverkusens and your Dortmunds and your Leipzigs are a little bit higher quality than the French league's second, third, and fourth best teams. So it keeps them just ticking over a little bit more in their leagues.
Yeah, every year, like flipping the Champions League, always wheel out discount BTEC Ranieri in it, like to do the draw in it.
I thought that was Ranieri again. Every year though, I think it's Ranieri. That's the maddest part. I'm like, Ranieri's back, and I realize it's not him. And I realized it's not him. So the draw for the I think for pot 1 is about to start, ladies and gentlemen. So stay with us, bear with us, smash the like and share button. Please get this past 1,000 likes while we're live on the air, please, people. Stay with us for our reaction and our thoughts and feelings on it. People keep saying, Terry, what about Ronaldo news? I don't know what you're talking about. Champions League draws on now. We can ignore news on other things for a moment and just solely look at.
I think the news will be. I think the news is. I think he's there giving out his CV to any Champions League team.
Yeah, that's probably where he is. That's probably where he is. Do you know, I will say though, it is painful seeing the Champions League draw and not being in it.
I'm used to it.
I know, yeah, you are used to it. You are
Agal's used to it. That's all he knows now.
That's the plots as it's being shown, people. We'll keep you up to date with everything going on in relation to the transfer draw. So stay with us here on the terrace. We won't let you down, we promise you. And you'll get some good reactions here as well. Just get on with it now. Yep, we know what happens. Pot 1.
You know, I don't really care too much about pot 1, I'll be honest. I'm waiting to see pot 2.
Yeah, pot 1 is just...
Yeah, pot 1's just a formality.
Yo, you guys remember the debacle last year? That was hilarious.
Oh, literally, I was say they better get it right. They actually better get it right for once, because they can't redraw the whole thing, because that was like crazy, man.
And somehow we got the easiest draw in Lille both times. I don't know how we managed to do that.
I know, but because at the time you had that Russian oil money, you know what I mean, like a bit under the table. Because I swear was it Drogba there as well? I swear Drogba was there.
Yeah, he was. Drogba was there.
That made me laugh as well, because Liverpool got an easy group in that drawing. United got
we got Salzburg first, and then we ended up getting Inter Milan second.
But then it was like we redid it again, and like none of our, as a United fans point of view, our group was just as hard, and none of our rivals were more difficult. I was like, oh, that's crap. Like it was just as bad. Like just as bad.
The thing was, you knew what they were trying to do last year. They were trying to get PSG and Man United together.
Yeah,
first time, so they couldn't do it second time.
Have you heard about the frozen balls or the temperature balls?
Yeah.
Pick who comes out.
Yeah,
that was more.
You believe it?
They just put I don't.
I don't think it's true either.
I know there's corruption that goes on, but I never think corruption is as basic as people make it sound. It's too obvious. They're not smart enough to just do something that obvious. But someone here says the news actually is that this is Champions League related, I suppose. Ronaldo is on the verge of signing for Sporting Lisbon. The deal with 99% done. The club will begin presentation preparations tomorrow, according to a journalist caught offside. But that could have Graham. Some of these outlets, that a year ago didn't have any proper journalists working. I've got some serious people. Like 4 years ago, if you'd have quoted goal as your source, everyone said goal. They've got like Nazir Kinsella that works there now.
Yeah.
Like Football.London 2 years ago as an opinion piece. They've got like Alistair Gold. So, but yeah, Graham Bailey works here. He's pretty good. So I bet it might have been him. But listen, Ronaldo is going to leave. And interestingly, again, the Dutch reporters today are saying that United are still going for Gakpo. It's only the British press saying they're not. So we'll see. I only think Gakpo happens, by the way, if Ronaldo leaves. But the thing is, wouldn't it be funny if he goes all the way back to Sporting Lisbon and play Champions League football when he doesn't score a Champions League goal?
The craziest thing is, it's one of those ones. It's like you're basically doing the same thing at Sporting that you'll do at Man United, which is you're trying to build a team up to like to be better. You know what I mean? And also in the Champions League, you're not expected to win, so they have more of a chance to win the league in Portugal. And plus, he said two things. One, he said he would love to retire at Sporting. I think that's a thing that he's also said. And 2, he's never actually won the league with Sporting, so maybe that's more desirable than trying to win.
I think as well, like on a real level, when it comes down to it. Listen, Manchester's a nice part of the world. I've lived there, but have you seen that? Like he's home. That's basically 5 minutes away from the Sporting Lisbon training ground. That part of Spain, Portugal, he lives in. It's beautiful. Like he's 30.
Madeira,
he probably just thinks
nice.
like being at Man United, it was probably a case of, do you know what? Like while we're here, like it's fine. Champions League might be able to win something, but there's no Champions League. That's what he wants. He might just feel like I'll go back. I know we would call United his home, but he might just want to go home. Like that's probably more it than anything else. Do you know what I mean? But
I have more respect for it as well. If you went,
I think it makes the most sense because when he said he wanted Champions League football, being the age that he is and the stage of his career that he's at, it makes the most sense for him to go there. Personally.
Yeah, I respect it. Like I honestly do. I respect him going there more than trying to force him.
He's got the storyline as well. He's got all the storyline potential.
And plus, he'll be doing his career like in reverse, like Sporting, Man United, Madrid, Juve, back to Man United, and just back home. Go back home. To
here we go. People say the first name's coming out here. Man like Yaya. Yaya Toure is putting the name out.
Also, guys on the panel, try not to react before Terry, please.
Well, we'll do that. Pot 2 is more the point because it doesn't really matter. But Ajax's names come out first. This doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, we're going to work out what pot they go into later. But Ajax have come out first, as you can see.
Edwin, my beautiful guy.
Oh, he's old now. Wow.
Hey, he's a silver fox, bro. He's a silver fox.
I don't think he'd be great by now.
Nah, don't disrespect Edwin.
No. Respect.
Remember, do you remember how old he was playing for United? He was like late 30s, bro.
Yeah, he was ancient playing for United. Okay, he was very old. Ancient's probably a bit far.
Did you read the thing the other day that he was at that age, but he only used to turn up to training 3 times a week.
Oh, really?
3 times a week he used to train. That was it.
Oh,
that's Sporting Lisbon story, by the way. I'm searching for it online and I can't find it anywhere. I don't know where people get this stuff from sometimes, but I'm trying to find it. But there we go. Anyway, I digress. Porto's name come out. I don't really care though because we don't know who they're going to be with next. You wouldn't mind Porto with your pot 1, would you? Oh, I know it has been shared, but it doesn't say who the journalist is. Caught offside, their own Twitter account has shared it, but they haven't put a link. That's so weird. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind him.
I've got a nasty feeling we might get Bayern, and
Bayern Munich. Woo! Bayern. You know what though? I do like those. The one thing I miss about the champ. I know Jan will remember this because Jan's younger than me, of course, but he's of more of a vintage you gents. But like Champions League groups nearly always used to be good back in the day. You know, when Champions League, like the year that we won it in '99, like we had Bayern Munich and Barcelona. We had Bromby. There was a rubbish team as well. We had Bromby. But imagine a group now that had like a team of Man United's level, Barcelona's and Bayern Munich's in one group. It's ridiculous, man. Like, but the thing is, that's where like, I don't know about you guys. When you watch the Champions League now, unless you're in a group of death, like the group stages can be a little boring in case unless a good team is underperforming. It's a bit boring. Like back then it wasn't, because what you would have is every year there'd be brilliant teams going out and you never used to drop down to the next comp. You were just out. Like you're out of Europe for the rest of the season. Like that jeopardy you feel in the knockout stages now. Imagine that at the start of the season. Honestly, it was better back then. I don't like how it's become so big. I think they should shrink it again, pump more money into
the get worse as well, isn't it? They're expanding it again in a couple of years.
It's more embarrassing when you drop down to the Europa League.
I don't like the way they're trying to change the Champions League, man. Like they just need to keep it the way it is, man.
No, but I will say I did during lockdown. I did love like the 2 weeks of Champions League football, and it was knockouts. That was I enjoyed. Those were vibes. Like if they said every 4 years that would be the format, I'll be here.
That reminded me of March Madness in basketball. If you guys watch basketball,
yeah.
It was like tournament, literally like you could say it was like World Cup style, like semifinals.
Yeah. I believe that's how they should do qualifiers for the World Cup and Euros. Like straight up, get the season done, bun international breaks, get the season done, and then bang qualifiers for the World Cup or Europa League, the Euros in that little period. I think would be lit personally.
I think that tournament style football being played so successively, so quickly, like in the way that you guys did it during lockdown. Do you think that could ever be a thing that is done more normally? I don't know. I think injuries and just the risks of having players play successive games like that, they might not want to do that.
Listen, I don't think they will do it, but I mean, I wouldn't mind a shorter Prem season. So I don't know. You start when we start in like mid-August, but the Prem ends in February. You get 2 or 3 weeks off, and then you spend 2.5 months until like the May playing the European tournament. I think that could be quite fun. Like almost
August to February, Terry. 38 games in that period.
Yeah, but then you don't know Champions League. I'm just spitballing. Like, I haven't thought that the exact dates out through in my head, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. But like, you could maybe do something like that,
like a festival of football sort of thing.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. You're still playing that amount of football over that same period of time. So what's the difference?
You just you're just rearranging.
You're just doing it in a different kind of order, and maybe you do it where the group stages you travel across Europe, but then maybe the finals, quarterfinals, and beyond are in one place, and like fans can descend upon it. I don't know. I really enjoyed the way they did it after lockdown. It was great, but also everyone was at home, so you could see every game. You didn't miss anything. You didn't have to travel. It was great. It was really good time. But there we go. But I think they're actually doing pot 2 now. You know.
Yeah, they're starting up.
They go straight into pot. Oh, thank God they're doing pot 1 and pot 2 at the same time, because they would have annoyed me having to wait for 45 minutes to watch something.
I love these like these montages for introducing each pot. I'm just a nerd like that. I think it's dope. Like, I think it's flipping sick.
I always think, I remember that goal when this person scored.
Yeah. They showed the Atletico goal against United, which is annoying.
The only part I disagree with out of what we've just said was I don't like the whole congregating on one spot. I prefer 2 legs. I prefer teams having a home and an away leg. I think the atmosphere is better. I do hear that.
Yeah,
I think the storylines you get for that are better.
Yeah, so maybe do the tournament thing, but you still travel in the same way, because fans like that as well. Like when I was actually spending money on my football club, I loved going to away European games. Were the best. If you've never done one, never been able to do one, like save up as hard as you can and get yourself there. Right, names are starting to come out now, people. We're going to keep you abreast. Pot 2 is about to be picked now. The maddest thing is I didn't clock who's in what number, like who's in what pot. So I have to wait. So the first name out of the pot here by Mr. Yaya is RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig's name has come out of the pot, as you can see. It's RB Leipzig.
Get a big dog, man.
There we go. Who are they gonna get? That is the big question.
It might be Man City. Man City are one of the teams they could get.
They could get Man City
last year, though, don't we?
Here we go.
Yeah, where's Shakhtar? Shakhtar will appear somewhere.
Yeah, Shakhtar. It's a magnificent attraction between Shakhtar and City.
We had Leipzig, PSG. Can't remember who else.
You're undoing it. This guy's undoing it. It's not even undoing. Come on, bro. Sort yourself out. Nice hair, nice suit, but like, that's going to be Group F. That is Group F. That puts them into a pot. I don't know the group.
PSG.
Real Madrid. Real Madrid. They've got
a nice
Real
little tie,
Madrid.
you know. That's a nice little tie.
Real Madrid. Let's go.
Wow, Real Madrid is who they get, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the big dogs is gone. I don't mind.
Yes, that's true. One of them is gone now. The next name is on the way out, ladies and gentlemen. The next name is on the way out.
People are saying it's rigged already.
Saying it's rigged. The next name out is Juventus. Juventus are out of the pot, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Juve are out.
Oh, Jan, this could be you.
Oh, could be either Man City or
it's either Man City or Bayern.
PSG. Wait, no.
Is it? No, it's Man City.
Yeah, it's only 2 choices.
Only 2 choices here. Obviously, when you can't hear, you don't know everything's going on. That's going to be pots. That's going to be group. Sorry, the man with the nice hair and the lovely suit with the shoulder pads. Group H. Group H has been.
That's PSG. City are G.
PSG.
Oh, that's a good time.
Wow, PSG. They've got their PSG. That is.
You know what? Yeah, we say this now. We say this, but does Juve hit like that anymore?
No,
they don't.
Paul Pogba, bro. Paul Pogba's there.
Yeah, will it be fit? I don't think he'll be fit. Do you know the game?
They got Adrian
Rabiot.
Rabiot.
Not going to play until the World Cup.
Rabiot's there.
Yeah, wait. Do you know the game? By the way, guys, do you know the game start like next week?
Yeah.
It's not best.
It starts quick.
Week after next. Next name is out here, and it's Tottenham. Ooh. We have the Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham. What is a Hotspur? What is
They'll
this?
get Frankfurt now.
What is it? Oh yeah, I bet they do.
Tottenham.
Bet they do.
They've got four. They've got five options.
Come on.
Give them Bayern again. Let them rip back
Give them somebody difficult.
Let them
I want
rip
to
back
Don't do them.
slapped up.
Don't do them a favor, man.
Yeah,
I
you
want to
go.
see them get slapped up. They got five
We
choices.
need to see Group B.
Nah,
We need to
Liverpool
see
need
Group
Bayern.
D
Oh,
or
no.
E.
I don't want Sadio.
What we getting here for Spurs? Oh, come on, mate. Hurry up. Get it done. It is Group D. Group D. Group
I
D.
swear that's Bayern Munich.
Hang on a minute. Who they got?
Oh, no, bro.
Frankfurt.
Tottenham get Frankfurt. Oh,
Yeah, I told you that would happen.
Can't
I
believe
was
it.
waiting,
wow. Wow.
Spurs
I
got
was waited. They actually might make
so
it through the
lucky.
rounds. They actually might make it through now.
What a draw for Tottenham.
They're going to win the Champions League now. You lot have jinxed them.
Tottenham can't win trophies. Stop it.
Oh, Liverpool out now.
Go
Go on. You nervous, Tom?
Liverpool need
Porto.
Bayern Munich.
Porto. It's got to be Porto. We play them every year.
No, you need Bayern. Oh, I can't.
I don't want Bayern.
Think Chelsea gets Bayern, man.
I don't want
You
Bayern.
just got City in the Carabao
So
Cup.
a
We can't
Bayern
get Bayern in
Group
the
C.
Champions
A
League.
Bayern Group C. Is
I
that
think
what
they're
we're
good.
saying? Okay.
A or
Should've
B.
looked.
A or B.
We should have checked, shouldn't we? Ooh.
A or
Group
B.
C. Come on, give Liverpool an hard one.
Oh.
Group A. They get Group A.
That's
Group
Ajax.
A.
You've got Ajax, bro. You've got Ajax
Ajax.
again.
Ajax. Easy.
Oh,
Yo, Edwin, bad him up, Edwin. Bad him
Oh,
up.
that means we could get Bayern then. Oh, please, man. These lot want to make my life difficult, man.
You're paired with Spurs, so you have to pay like the opposite day to them.
Yeah, we do.
So you've got like a limited number. I don't know which. I don't think you can land on their side.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
Sevilla have come
Please
out
get
now.
Bayern. Please
Sevilla
get
have
Bayern.
come out. Sevilla
Please
have
get
come
Bayern,
out.
man.
Bayern is one of the options for Sevilla, but so is Man City.
Oh, we can't get City. There's Bayern or Porto. Oh, just need to hope it's not Porto then.
Yeah,
What's
if they
it-
get.
Look at this super
Oh,
chat.
it's looking so likely we're going to
This
get
super
Bayern,
chat's
man.
so funny. This super chat here says, Terry, will Spurs get out the group stage? Yeah, like maybe you will now, but that's
Come
more
on,
pressure
man.
on Spurs now because now you have to get out the group stages. Like
They have to win. They actually have to win it now.
they
Like,
have to win the group. They have to win the group now with Premier League money.
Always had to win the group.
Group G.
Ah, City.
Man City.
Man City.
Bayern or Porto, please, God, give us Porto, man.
You guys
Oh,
got Sevilla. Sevilla are no mugs.
By the way, before the next
I know. They're good in Europe, but more Europa than.
Oh, here we go. What's going to
Champions
go on it? Whose name's coming out?
I
Three
feel like
names.
we played Sevilla there.
Three
Can't
names.
remember when.
Three names remaining here, and it's going to be FC Barcelona's name is out.
Wait, they need to be giving them
Please,
Group
Bayern,
B.
please,
Give them
please,
Group
God.
B.
please,
Give them
God,
Group
please,
B.
Okay,
God.
what is Group B?
Group B is
Porto.
Porto.
Group B is Porto.
So we want B.
No.
B.
no.
Come on.
Please
Come
for
on. Will it,
Barcelona.
people. Let's will it into life.
Bayern, please,
Ooh.
Bayern.
Oh,
B
they're
for
gonna get
Barcelona.
Bayern.
Bayern and
Bayern.
Barcelona all get each other there. It's boring.
Group C. Oh yes.
Yes.
Barcelona. Hang on,
I'm
guys.
telling you, oi.
Guys. This is what happens in football. Lewandowski, first Champions League game.
Thank
First
you.
group,
Yeah.
bang, straight back there. Always
Oh
happens.
yeah, true. The
They
storyline.
always do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Roy, all I'm saying is there's leftover Russian oil money. That's what I go on here, fam. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
8-2 all over again. Or 7-1. What was the score again? 8-2, right?
It was 8-2.
Yeah.
8-2.
So
Oh,
far,
yeah,
like
it needs to be
the
some
English,
Well, who's
the
the other
English,
team we could get?
the English clubs. Sorry, the English clubs. Chelsea had just come out now, but the English clubs have just had a very, very, very good first
Yeah.
round. Very
Actually,
good.
that's actually they have to play AC Milan. Chelsea have to play AC Milan.
Oh yeah, you've got AC Milan. You've got
Okay,
AC
I don't
Milan.
mind that, I don't mind that. Could be worse.
AC Milan. It's been confirmed. Chelsea get AC Milan, returning giants to the Champions League. There you see it.
You see how Roy went from to it's not
No,
too
you know
bad.
what? I want Porto, but I'll take Milan. I'll take Milan.
Oh yeah, he was on countdown.
You know when you're in the studio, Roy, does that noise actually get played out?
Yes, it's fucking loud.
How was the lovely Rachel Riley? How was she?
Yeah, she's super duper nice. Like Susie was nice.
Wait, you were
Colin
actually on the
Hogan.
countdown?
Honestly, I filmed it a month ago, and they said it takes 3 months to air. So I was expecting to see it in October. And the next thing you know, I just open up Twitter, just like, oh, let me just see what happened on the TL. And I see KJ's tweeting a picture of it and tagged me. And I had absolutely no idea that it aired yesterday.
KJ, why are you watching Countdown?
No, it wasn't me. So someone.
I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys a skill though that Roy had done this before. So I've got my calculator here. Right, Jan.
I don't have a calculator.
He doesn't have a calculator. Keep your hands in the air the whole time. So to know, Jan, it's between 1 and 100, right?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So Jan, tell me a number between 1 and 100.
61.
61. Igal, give me a number between 1 and 100.
35.
35. So I'm going to do 61 times 35. Roy, what's the answer?
2,135.
Wow.
Just so you know, it's not a fluke. KJ, give me a number between 100. 0 and 100.
87.
87. Times that by a number between 100, please. Tom.
42.
42. Give me the answer, please, Roy.
3,654.
Boom. Look at that.
Wait,
Look at that. Look at
That is crazy. Yo, clip that up. We got a genius on the stream.
Roy is mad, you know. Roy is
crazy.
Mad.
He did it. We were in a pub doing it. We're walking up to people, going, "We've got a game for you." And they were like, "Yeah, of course you have. Of course you have." They could tell they're looking bored, whatever. Did it, and then they saw the number. They're like, "Do it again. Do it again. Do it again." They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. It's a madness. It's absolutely madness.
Roy, question though.
Very good. Very good.
Rachel Riley or Carol?
Oh. You know what? As someone who wants to enter the presenting industry one day, I'm going to have to sit on the fence. I don't want to say anything which might get me in trouble. They're both great presenters. They're both great.
I'm not really one of them guys that's into older women like that, but Carol Vorderman, yeah, I'd definitely take her out on a date if I was single. I don't care if she's like 80 or whatever she is, but right, Napoli, the first group out of pot three. They're actually doing all the pots one after the other. I'm so happy with the way they did.
Yeah, I'm so glad they cut the shit in the middle out, man.
I think they've been told by people like, stop this nonsense now. No one cares.
Even the stream starting later. It's been like BT, because normally they show the whole thing. Yeah, BT were like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing this no more.
Yeah, people don't want it for like 2.5 hours to get the names out of the hat. Right. So they're going to be in. So Napoli will be in group. Oh. Oh, Napoli, Liverpool, and Ajax all together.
Napoli. Absolutely hate Napoli.
Napoli are very tricky opponents.
Very tricky.
We have such an awful away record against Napoli. Such an awful away record against them.
They beat you the last time as well, innit? They beat you last time away.
Yeah, well, it was 2-0, wasn't it? Didn't what's his name? The tall Spanish Llorente.
Right.
Who's that?
Oh, Salzburg. Hey, Shesko, watch. Let's go.
Roy, did you not just get beat by Leeds? How do you know you're going to beat them? Come on now.
Beat Salzburg. Come on, yeah. Let's be real.
You never know.
Spurs, they're ending up with Spurs. Where's Spurs?
No, they can't get.
Oh my God.
Spurs can't get done that nicely, man.
Do you know what
Europa League group?
What I would like to see, obviously, is I wouldn't mind seeing the Celtic and Rangers get an English side, because England versus Scottish teams in Champions League. Nice.
It's always nutty.
It's a nice night. It's a good night out, I tell you. So they're going to be in Group E now. Who just came out? Is that you lot?
Yes. Oh, yes, I'll take that.
Easy, you know.
Okay.
AC Milan.
Then I do rate Milan. They just wanted to get their good side, but I expect us to top the group. If
Roy's celebrating a lot for considering he drew a team that founded Jesse Marsh. Like they were Jesse Marsh's stomping ground.
And Mendy's purple patch is over, so you never know.
I didn't realize what our manager Ten Hag's been called out for like wanting a certain type of player this year that have been at Ajax or they're connected to Ajax by a certain way. You look at Jesse Marsh's lead signing. They're RB related, mainly RB related or German related or American or both.
Or Americans.
They're literally like from that same. And it's like most managers do that. They pick from a pool that suit their style of football. It's just it
makes sense though. Like
whose name just came out by the way? Who just came out?
Benfica.
They're going to be in Group H. Group H, Benfica will be in.
I think that's Real Madrid.
PSG.
PSG and Juve.
You know what? I'll just stop talking. I keep getting them wrong.
Yeah.
I keep thinking H
I
is
don't
Real
know the
Madrid.
last ones, innit? I don't know the stat.
Yeah, that United lost.
Roy's math is 100,000 times better than his.
Hey, Roy,
You know what? I
what
won't
would that
disagree
total?
with that.
What would that total?
It's a pretty big number because my talent ID is quite good.
Oh, is
Borussia
it?
Dortmund guys have just come out. This is a bit of a big one. They're a good football
Who are
inside.
they gonna
Wait,
go?
give them to
Don't say
Liverpool.
City, I ain't got
Wait,
time.
oh, no,
Jude
they
got
can
Jude
go-
Bellingham watch.
No,
Jude
they
Bellingham
can go
watch.
Man City's group.
No, they go straight into Group G with Sevilla and
Ooh.
Man City.
For God's sake, why?
Sevilla, Man City, Borussia Dortmund. That's a good group. That's a
Because they want
Nah, that's
Haaland
not-
to play against
that's not
Dortmund.
as you think, Terry. Like, City could, they could not struggle. As in, I think they'll win the group, but it
Do
won't.
you know
be
what?
like
City
win.
in the group stage are normally okay.
Pretty good.
It's when we get out the
Yeah.
group that the problems start. Actually, round of 16 were okay. After it's the quarters and the semis and
Leverkusen.
where the drama starts.
Bayern Leverkusen just came out, and
Oh,
they
they
go
could-
straight
they-
into Group B. Straight into
Yeah.
Group B. They go into. Do you know what they need to do on BT Sport? They need to put the
That's
graphics.
Tottenham's group.
They need
Honestly.
no, it's Porto, Atletico Madrid.
That's there's always one Europa League group every year, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but that's the kind of group that, like, the winners and the runner-ups, that's what you want in the next round.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you need
100%.
those groups. They put some easy ones through. Next name out the group people, picked by, of course, the better Torre. Sporting Lisbon, reportedly, this is going to be Ronaldo's new club. So Ronaldo may be at this club. And this can either be this could be group D, E, or F. So they're actually going to draw this one out. Could get Tottenham. They could get Real Madrid.
You could get Barca and Bayern.
Oh yeah, give him
Barca and Bayern.
Barca and Bayern
be
for Ronaldo. Come on now.
Ronaldo needs vengeance for not getting accepted by Bayern.
Group D, it's Tottenham. Then he'll be back at Tottenham. He loves scoring against them. If it's Group D, if he goes, and it is Group D, Tottenham. Group D, Tottenham.
I'm telling you now.
Oh, Tottenham got
I'm
it
telling you
so
now,
nicely, man.
Levy pull some strings, bro.
100%, man.
He's pulling.
He's
What
sitting
is
around
that?
the-
Look at that. What is that?
That is pissy easy.
Honestly.
KJ think if they manage to go out of this group,
I know.
they're never living it down. They can never live it down. They're in the Europa League group.
It's true, yeah. They can't afford to go out because that group is a cake.
They'll never make it out of it.
PS Carroll versus. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Carroll,
Understandable.
Give me Carroll.
One of my favorite sayings I've ever heard this. I only ever heard it said once, and Phil Mitchell said it drunk in EastEnders when I was a kid. When he was talking about, I can't remember what woman he was talking about, and he said, "I like her. She's an oldie but a goodie." I've always liked that phrase.
Also, why is Shakhtar not in Man City's group? What is going on
What did
here?
you do, man? Like, they're meant to be in your group. Like,
Do you know what's crazy? Like, we won the league, but we've got a harder group than the team that finished fourth. Like, what is this?
I know, but that's
all Inter out.
I want to ask a question. Shakhtar, always a difficult place to go because they're traveling. Where are they going to be playing their games? It's clearly not going to be in the Ukraine.
Bayern, Barca, Inter. Wow.
Ooh, that's a nice
group of death. Oh, there's the group of death right there.
That is a very interesting group.
That's a very nice group.
Inter is not that.
Give them Marseille pot 4. Just make that.
Oh yeah. Oh, Eric Bailly. Wait. Terry, Eric Bailly and Alex Tellers are in the Champions League, and we are not.
Yeah, but that happens all the time, doesn't it? Like, it happens all the time. You have a player leave, they go to a smaller club in the Champions League. Shakhtar are playing in Warsaw in Poland.
Oh, they're playing. Okay, that makes
sense.
sense.
At least it's less distance to travel for people. Like, and obviously a little bit safer.
Fair,
like,
you gotta give it to Shakhtar. They're the best Brazilian team that Europe has ever seen.
Is it me or Italian teams in these cup competitions are not as strong anymore?
They haven't been as strong for about 15, 20 years, mate. To be honest with you. Well, obviously AC Milan was still probably good up until like the late noughties, as it were. Juve had that little period when they had like when they had like, when Pogba was there and they got to that final. But the Italian teams haven't been that good for and even then, like you had AC Milan and Inter did a little bit. Juve had a little resurgence. But for the last 20 years, there's been a couple of good Italian teams like this. It's been Spain and England and a smidge of Germany. Like that's it. Like really and truly. But then that's where the money is.
The Celtic part has come up. Celtic, you know what is it? Celtic I don't know why. Celtic just don't hit like Rangers do. I don't know what it is. But like maybe
Celtics don't hit. I think you're forgetting Celtics were dominant for like how many years? So
Yeah, I
people get
know,
bored.
I know.
People
but
get
like,
people get bored of teams that have success for a long time.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe because Rangers right now are just are that team that seems just super exciting.
Rangers have all the storylines.
that's
They have
how
to go through
United
the
was.
qualifying
No one-
rounds.
Everyone was bored of United.
They had that Europa League run last year as well, which helped them out in terms of stories.
Actually, no, it's crazy. They lost the final and still made it to Champions League through the playoffs. Like that's very hard to do.
You got to rate that.
Like
it's like Man City right now. Isn't everyone bored of Man City winning the Premier League?
I mean, it's better than anyone else.
Nah, no one's bored of that yet. What the hell?
Boy, nah, we
If
need
we win
someone
the
to stop
next
the
10 in a row, then I'll be bored.
Yo, actually, we need Arsenal to stop the three-peat. Like we do.
Oh,
like,
Celtic are out of hat.
I've got a feeling we'll get Celtic. I don't know why.
Oh, they need an English team. They need an English team.
Nah, not me, man. I'm not trying to.
Give them Liverpool because I swear them man are basically like enemies for some reason.
Yeah.
No, I hate Rangers that Liverpool fans hate more.
Isn't Scouse and Manchester always like a beef?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would assume like Liverpool is a more Catholic city, so like you'd beef Rangers more. I would assume.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to pick which one it is.
Where I feel like Manchester, in my experience, like Celtic was always the more because Manchester's more. It didn't appear as a Catholic as a city. So yeah, that's what it all comes down to. What name just came out for Group F?
Group F.
Celtic.
Oh, they've got Spurs.
Oh, they've got
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Oh,
that's not bad.
They are getting
not Leipzig and Shakhtar. They'll back themselves to at least get into Europa League. Like,
yeah,
I think second might be a bit too much to ask for. But Europa,
you know what it is? Remember, for some of these teams, they'd love to get to the knockout stages, but it's like, right, the group stage means 50 million, and then let's make sure we're in the Europa League at least.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Next name out, Marseille. No one.
This is the big one.
They're probably the best team.
I'd like to go to Marseille,
even though they've lost the best young centre back in the world.
I don't think Man City can draw Marseille.
No, they can't. No, Man City.
You can't. It's
Marseille.
A, B, C, or D.
Who's in their group, by the way? Marseille and who else?
We're about to find out.
They're going to be in group lettered. You see the group number.
Group D. Oh,
that is Spurs, isn't it? That's
no way. It's not Spurs.
You know what? They haven't even got a Europa League group. They've got a conference.
Oh my!
They've got a conference league group.
That group is actually quite tough. Now you.
Wait, low key. I believe Spurs can still bottle this. The Spurs can still bottle this.
They're never living that down if they do. Never living that down.
They could. Can you imagine?
You know what it is? Because all of them are kind of the same level as each other.
This is not a bad away day. FC Copenhagen. £15.
I've heard Copenhagen's nice.
£15 for a pint of beer.
£8
for
Imagine Nuno Tavares knocks out Tottenham out of the Champions League, sends them to Europa League. That would be
that's
you know what it is? Now, I'm going to give you some advice here. To say it's don't try and find a way of making it sound like a hard group. Make it sound like the easiest group in the world. Then if that's what you set them up for the banter, don't go, nah, it's a really hard group. Then when they win, you look silly. Think about it. Long game here. The long con.
Tottenham's
doing this longer than me, Terry, you know.
Tottenham's group isn't even a Europa League group; it's a Conference League group.
No.
If that group is in the Conference League,
I think you're going to Denmark.
You're going there. There you go.
You know what? I might do Dortmund if I can. If I can do it, I'll do it.
Dortmund will be a stick away. It's probably one of the best in Europe.
I've never done a European away day, you know.
KJ, let's do the European away day when we can go to Azerbaijan.
Oi, listen, send me on those 3 planes, 12 hours. You know what I mean?
This is a good away day. Club Bruges. Bruges is one of the best places I've ever been in my life.
And Belgium's not far from here either.
Nah, you can get there in a couple of hours.
Can Chelsea get them? Chelsea
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I don't really want them though. I want Maccabi Haifa from Israel.
Easy win as well. Maccabi Haifa is Israel.
I know
I
know a guy who comes to Emirates every week who lives in Belgium.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait, is that the Belgian Arsenal fan on Twitter?
You can get. I reckon you can get from the right parts of Belgium. You can probably get to Belgium to London quicker than London to Manchester, and cheaper.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Sure.
Here we go. The group's coming out here. It's going to be Group B. Group B.
And at Liverpool.
No,
he's in what group?
Where that's the one with that's.
Oh, that's the yeah. They're getting knocked out.
That's the second Europa League group.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo, Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to be playing in that group.
Oh yeah, Leverkusen. Is that signed
you
yet?
know what?
Is
Is he
that
gone
done?
now?
I would have minded if we got. Oh wait, you couldn't get them because they're in pot 2. But if we got them in the next round, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Give us Rangers, Liverpool.
He's pretty
You
much
know
gone.
you
Oh
want
shit! I
to.
forgot Rangers haven't come out yet. Oh,
Give us Rangers, Liverpool. We need that.
Yeah, that'll be a nice little one on a Tuesday night.
Oh,
spoke of the devil.
Rangers are out. What's your
KJ
group?
spoken into
What's your group?
existence.
What's your group? What's
Group
your
Group
group?
A.
Group A. Come on.
And they can only go.
That's
They
one
can
of
only
two.
go in,
It's a 50-50 chance. It's a 50-50
yeah,
chance.
they can only go in Group A or C. Let's wait and see what happens
Come on.
here.
It's either Liverpool
Lord, you
or
are good.
Barcelona and Bayern.
Oh,
Lord, you are good.
nah, give them Liverpool, man.
What
I
is,
want to see
what is your Group A, Liverpool's?
A.
It is Group
Hey.
A is there
Yes.
in Liverpool. Rangers.
Wait,
Hey!
you gotta tell me God's not real. Did you see the foresight? Let's go.
Yo,
Let's go,
Napoli,
baby.
Ajax. You know what? Napoli and Liverpool always draw each other. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, nah, Liverpool Rangers is gonna be a mad
That's
game.
gonna be a
you
nutty
know?
game. It's gonna be a nutty game.
That's gonna be a mad game.
Like, you
Yes,
better make
we
sure you're on
need
your
some
A
of
game
that.
for that trip, Tom.
And Ryan Kent coming back to haunt your dreams.
We haven't been on our A game all season. We're going to pull it out for Rangers away, I don't
Who's
think.
that?
Dynamo.
Oh, give them to us. I don't mind.
Dynamo
The
Zagreb.
Czech Republic.
We've had them so many times. Oh my
Wait,
God.
didn't who's that brother that I had that was sick on FIFA? Is it Orsic?
Croatia.
Yeah. Orsic.
Didn't he sign for a Premier League team? Am I mad? Did
No,
he sign
he
for
was
someone?
he was going to sign for Burnley last January and turn them down.
Oh, is that what it was? I was about to say. I swear I saw my man back.
But Burnley were on a mad one last January. They were linked with so many big names.
Yeah, there's linked to that second
Yeah,
Fofana,
they all
brother.
linked to bare ballers.
And now that the company's there, apparently they're balling out as well.
Forget about that.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take Dinamo. Don't mind that.
Is that you then?
Yeah.
Look at Chelsea's group. I'm telling you, leftover Russian.
I'll
oil
take that.
money.
I'll take that.
You, all the English teams have got groups. They should be winning. Every
Yeah.
English team should be winning their group, hands down.
The best group so far is definitely Bayern.
Bayern,
Can I-
Barcelona, Inter.
All right, you got a super chat here. It says, "Can I get a croissant, please?" I swear he was on Countdown the other day.
I
Sorry,
was.
Continental. Why did I read that as croissant? Sorry, that is my
Oh,
dyslexia.
did you hear that?
Don't let Terry go and count down. Flipping out.
Don't laugh at my disability, please, people. Like this is what is this all about? I'm dyslexic and I'm getting laughed at.
I'm sorry, Terry.
It's all right. It's all right. By two people that are candidates run fucking data balls. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. I read that as croissant. Do you know what I was thinking? Because you've got Bruges, and I was like, Bruges, they sell like French food. I think they do French. Like, what I love about Belgium is an interesting country. Some people speak like Flemish, some people speak French, some people speak Dutch. And then the food's like a mixture of what you get in all those different countries. What I like about it, it's a very, not strange is the wrong word, intriguing place to be.
Yo, Terry, you know you got all the CEOs and all the people there. Who do you reckon's gonna be there for United? Do you gonna sit like tomorrow? Are we gonna see Arnold and Murtaugh sitting there?
Arnold Myrtle will be there tomorrow, 110%.
Mad.
Ronaldo out giving a CV. No one today. Just there, please. Who the hell is that?
Victoria Pleasant.
Where they?
In Barca's group.
I'm sad. That's actually kind of not ruined the group.
You know what? As a small team, you would like that though. At least get some if you're gonna go out, at least go out.
Nah,
To,
their vibes though, their stadium
exactly, the
vibes
vibes
mad
good for them.
Like they're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. The problem is with that being the group is that you end up in a situation where like it's almost a guaranteed points for everybody. Like you'd want the other team to be able. If they got a Marseille in that group, it would have meant like they could have dropped some points elsewhere. We're gonna put some of the groups up on the screen for you now, guys, so you can all see. As you can see there, Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, Rangers in Group A, Porto, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Leverkusen, and Club Bruges in Group B. Group C is Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Victoria. Group D, Frankfurt, Tottenham, Sporting Lisbon, and Olympic Marseille. Very, very good groups for the sides in there so far. And we'll get the others up for you in just a moment. Spurs should be winning that group. Liverpool should be winning that group. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. If they don't, inquests have got to happen if they're not winning those groups, in my very humble opinion. And in the other side of the draw, as you can see on your screens now, people, Milan, Chelsea, Salzburg, Dynamo Zagreb, Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Celtic. We've got Man City, Sevilla, Dortmund, Copenhagen, a very interesting group indeed. And then PSG, Juve, Benfica, and I can't pronounce that last one.
Maccabi.
They're ones. That's the ones in that group there. So there's some interesting groups, people. Some interesting groups. But as Indiana here says, the big draw is tomorrow, people.
Oi, listen. Nah, it's true. Varane, Casemiro, CR7 in the Europa. Oi, listen. Greatest
Don't
European
forget
tournament.
Bukayo Saka, Saliba, Jesus.
No, we're talking about Champions League
Your
winners
group's
only.
probably going to be harder than Tottenham's anyway. So no,
Oi,
that
legit though, legit. Now watch us get some mad group. We will get some mad group in Europa
So
League.
who's,
Guarantee now.
out of all 4 Premier League teams, which of the 4 is going to struggle and do the worst, in your opinion, people?
Tottenham.
I'm still saying
Tottenham,
Spurs.
Tottenham.
No, I'm
Who's-
still saying Spurs.
Who's
they
coming?
can't in that group there. They can't.
Who's
They
coming?
can't.
That's the whole point, Jan. They can't do bad, so they will do bad.
So they will.
Guys, we're gonna
Yeah,
do-
it's probably.
so we're gonna do
People
an
are saying Liverpool in the chat.
Hang on, so guys, so let me get through this. We're going to do an England mini league in terms of how far you progress, not how many wins you get. So we're putting Spurs 4th. Who are we putting 3rd out of the English teams?
Chelsea.
Let me see the groups quickly because I feel like depends on Chelsea's group.
Oh,
Now,
I've
we'll
got
win
a
our group. Like, we'll win our group without any.
Chelsea have AC Milan and 2 other teams.
Salzburg and Dynamo Zagreb.
Let me
Yeah,
check.
Chelsea should do all right.
So the last 2 should be 12 out of 12, and then Milan. I
Come
think
on, guys, let's get off the fence. Who's coming 3rd in the England mini league?
Chelsea.
You know what? They want to say us, so just put us in 3rd, Terry.
I'm
So
putting
Chelsea-
I'll put
Chelsea
Chelsea
third.
in third. Yeah,
Who's coming 2nd out of the English teams?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, City are gonna walk the group stages. They're gonna absolutely.
Yeah, I
practice.
think I'd have to put Liverpool 2nd, just because right now they just don't look as ready as they should be.
So City will be the most successful European team in England this
Yeah,
season.
but then obviously there's a very long way to go before we see the knockout stage. So
In the groups, yeah, but I don't know about knockouts.
I
I
think
But-
Liverpool.
Terry said we're ranking them by how far they're going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I think City's group is quite in
I don't
terms
think
of
it's as
the
easy as
quality
it
of the
looks.
teams. We've got good quality teams in our group, but I think Liverpool's it's more like scrappy games. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the Rangers, you can get injuries in them sort of games.
Napoli,
Definitely.
Ajax.
Whereas I
Yeah,
think City, like Sevilla, they're more like their football's more like ours, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
Dortmund, they're not gonna. It's
Yeah,
not
Without
gonna-
Haaland as well, like what can they really do?
Yeah, I think that Man City make semis, Liverpool make quarters, Chelsea make quarters, Spurs finish 3rd, and then they go in the Europa League. I don't care.
I'm going to
They
predict
can't, they
4th
can't do
place.
that. Anyway.
4th place Liverpool, 3rd place Tottenham, Chelsea, City. I think all
So-
I think all our teams will make it out of the group stages.
They have to make it out, man. That's no
I
excuse.
just I'm predicting this year. I'm predicting it because they've done so well up until now. Liverpool a fairly early knockout exit. Chelsea semi-final, Man City are winning it. I think Spurs will go out in the quarterfinals. When I said early exit, I think Liverpool are going to get a big boy in the last round of 16 and go out. It's just a feeling.
I think they'll win their group, and I don't know like how many teams.
And they'll win their group, and they'll get Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich will dump them out. There we go. Jimmy down the couch, coach and horses said he saw De Jong's agent buying undies in Marks and Spencer's in Manchester. That's good. Good on him. Good closing, Marks and Sparks. Yeah, we've had all those comments. A few people were saying, "Why is he Gal here?" Because the Gal is part of Football Terrace heritage. That is why my man is here. Keep the cheek down, people. Keep the cheek down. Terry went from EPL champions to worst team in the. When I say worst team, I'm predicting 2 different competitions. I just saying you're coming 4th out of all the English teams doesn't mean it's going to be bad. And I believe that you'll get knocked out by a big. I've just got a feeling that this will be the year where Liverpool go out earlier than people expect. Like
Done it
Liverpool.
before.
Well, I feel like Liverpool. I've had like. I could be wrong. This is a feeling. I haven't gone and researched it, but I feel like Liverpool have kind of had years where they nearly always get a Benfica or a Porto, like an easy team, a Roma in the last scene.
We had Porto, then we had. So last year we had the Inter. The year before that we had Leipzig. The year before that, which is when we went out, we had Atletico Madrid. The year we won it was Bayern.
You had
and
Bayern in the
year-
last 16. Okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
year,
I remember that game. I do remember that game. We had Bayern Ryan come on, but yeah, it's just a feeling. Look, Liverpool's still an excellent team.
Oh, Ancelotti won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and as he should.
Deserved though. Yeah, he won a league and champs.
Who else was it going to be? I was seeing Jurgen Klopp up there now, and he's like,
yeah, maybe the AC. You
compete.
can maybe argue
You
the
cannot
AC Milan manager for obviously winning the league for the first time in how many years, but
Actually,
yeah,
that
always
was
gonna
a
be
big
Carlo.
achievement.
Nah.
It has to be Carlo. And the female coach of the year was
I would have given it honestly for the performance on Monday night. I think Ten Hag deserved it. You know what I mean? Like what he did on Monday night, like
Arteta's gonna win it. Anyways,
yeah. No. Okay, so they're doing the good thing. They're doing the player awards now. It makes more.
Yeah, because none of us want to watch it. People, Joe's laugh about my opinions. People will say Terry waffling. Like you say that, but this is like how many times do I make obscure predictions because it goes against the grain and they end up being right? Because that's sport, my friend. Like I put a nice little bet on Leon Edwards winning at the weekend. Everyone said, "Oh, you're waffling." Like someone told me that Anthony Joshua wouldn't get past round 6 in the fight because I predicted a knockout in round 8. Nearly knocked him out in round 9. Like it's just is what it is. Don't always bet on the sure thing. It's boring, you melts. But there we go. People love Arsenal so much. I ain't seen one person mention United.
Allow it, Jacob. Don't worry.
I don't know. Well, we trend every week. We're so bad, but there we go. Listen, people, I really appreciate you all coming on and helping us out on the show today. Viewers, make sure you smash the like button before you leave. Really do appreciate it massively. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very